Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Sims 4 Covenant Legacy Challenge. My name is Ronald the Simmer and this is Season 3, Episode 16. It was Prince Vladislaus' last day. Queen Moira, her father, and Princess Minerva all said their farewells as the young prince was greeted by his father. Minerva most of all said her goodbyes, hugging her betrothed before they parted. Her uncle Lucifer will mention how Minerva will have to visit soon again so she can get acquainted with her upcoming new life. A big smile went across Minerva's face, and an agreeable dialogue was said. Her opinion about being Queen of Hollow drastically shifted to a more likewise mind. But Victor was worried about this. He kept it to himself, but he felt more of a kinship to his daughter than Moira herself. He felt his dark blood flowing within her veins more than Elodie's. He was worried about his father's reaction. Vlad the Elder always had a fascination with alien witches. Minerva was less like her sisters and mother and more like her father. He was worried that their fragile alliance would break and father would reject her. Moira, however, decided now that Vlad the Younger left, it was high time that she addressed some things. She was keeping herself tamed while her cousin was around. She didn't want any rumors or secrets given out to her grandfather. The queen would sit upon her throne with Thea, Jaleesa, and Clara present. The queen wanted no other ears but them. Clara herself was confused as to why she was here. She was about to leave for Magana Castle, but the queen asked her to stay. She could only imagine it was about Jaleesa's plans. The queen was strong though, having a serious face. She would ask Jaleesa, is it in Senath's nature to always scheme? Was Giselle's fate not a warning? Jaleesa was perplexed and worried. Whatever do you mean, Majesty? Moira rolled her eyes, asking if her elixir actually worked, asking if she was purposely trying to sabotage the Odina dynasty as revenge for her mother. Jaleesa would deny these claims, saying that her whole life has been dedicated to the Odinas and making up for her mother's sins, assuring the queen that her elixir she created would indeed rid her of vampirism. But the queen didn't believe it, saying, if it was true, why do my children as well as I still have these dark eyes? Why do I feel a darkness still inside? My taste for blood is gone, but this darkness still lives within. Jaleesa was at a loss for words. She truly didn't know why. From her perspective, the queen seemed fine, but of what she said was true. Her elixir was halfway done. Moira would remind Jaleesa that if she had been purposely trying to sabotage her, she would have grounds to burn her alive. Jaleesa begged for mercy, pleading with the queen to allow her to rework her spell, but the queen denied. She would look at Clara, then to Jaleesa, and said, there was something else brought to my attention. My loyal cousin, Thea, told me of your ambitions to become immortal. Is this a part of your plan? Do you wish to get revenge upon my children after my death? She inquired. Jaleesa was terrified. Narratives formed from imaginations, logical narratives. Jaleesa would deny, professing her utmost respect and loyalty to Queen Moira. Thea would protest against her loyalty, reminding Moira that she's the daughter of Giselle. Clara was silent, however. Not a peep came out of her mouth. The queen would silence both Thea and Jaleesa from their apparent bickering, and in the end would ask for Clara's opinion. Clara didn't much like the sonnets, but she did see Jaleesa grow up, and she knew deep down, and maybe on the surface, she wasn't evil. She knew Jaleesa didn't want to cause the queen harm, and so she would tell the queen, I may not agree with her majesty, and though I may have disliked her mother, I don't believe she's capable of such treason, but I wouldn't trust her with immortality. Moira did a long pause, and for a while the throne room was silent. The queen would stand declaring for a new law. It's high time that we put this matter to rest. Immortality will now be illegal within this queendom. Vampires will be pardoned from this, it's their nature, but witches, we are vessels of Gaia. Anyone who uses this forbidden magic will be executed and burned as a warlock. All eyes went to Clara, ironically. Moira would tell Jaleesa that she was no longer a part of the High Council, and no one needs to know what they discussed today and why she was removed. I should have never allowed you to counsel me after you helped execute my sister, she said. She would now find a new Lady Alchemist, and would give Thea the duties of court intrigues, trusting her with obtaining and giving secrets. In the end, though, Moira would tell Thea and Jaleesa to leave, leaving only her and Clara. She would approach Clara more softly and would tell her, you know it must be done. You know you cannot live if immortality is now illegal. I'm sorry, she voiced. I have to be a fair queen, not one with favorites. Clara had an understandable agreement. Truth be told, she didn't want to live anymore. She had a baby now, but she couldn't stay around for him. Moira was generous, however, telling her she would have a year to get her affairs in order, prepare her granddaughter Kadira for ruling, and say her goodbyes to her family. An offer Clara gracefully accepted. Moira would have one more request, though, to make a cure for her and her children before she leaves this mortal realm. She truthfully couldn't say no, it was Moira, but in all honesty, she didn't mind it. In Clara's mind, it's the least she could do for leading an unholy life. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of my Sims 4 Covenant Legacy Challenge. Right now, we are at the Sunneth family because, it happened off camera, but I kind of just wanted to pop in, especially after what happened recently in the beginning of the episode. Because, of course, well, for one, High Lady Jaleesa has now been removed off the High Council. So she's back at home with her family. It's been a few weeks since the last episode happened. Since the beginning of the episode happened in game, I must say. And right now, her daughter Orlin, she has given birth to her first child, guys. And Orlin, guys, which I was very surprised by, survived her birth. She her stepping stones were 10, were 5, 10, 15, and 20. And she almost did die, guys. She rolled a 9. She was right at the cusp of 10. So she really got lucky, which just tells me that she had a very difficult and strenuous birth and a very hard pregnancy. We wasn't with Orlin for her pregnancy, but she must have not had the best feeling. And sadly, guys, she did not have a daughter. She instead had a little son who she has named Hypnos Sunneth. Um, Born to her and Sayek. So yes, let me actually turn on headline effects because I actually just got done with the beginning of the episode. Mind you guys, I have been recording the beginning of the episode for a span of 3 days. I would record it, then I would get drained, and then I record it, then I would get drained, and now I have finally recorded like the last bit of it, and now I'm recording the episode. So yeah, exciting, isn't it? I'm hopefully going to be able to get episode out for you all tonight. It's like 6:34 right now, so maybe expect one around 11 o'clock. Um, but anyway, the point is, yes, Orlin, she has given birth. She had a son, and I'm definitely not going to get her pregnant until she ages up into a young adult. Um, I want her to I want her to grow up a little bit. She's had a kid already. That's fine. She can wait a little bit before she has another child. I don't want her to die. This is the only legacy that poor Jaleesa has left. And so, guys, Jaleesa, she's no longer at court. She has been banished. Well, she isn't banished from court. I wouldn't say that, but she's definitely have been removed from court, removed from the High Council, removed from the High Council. Queen Moira does not need her advice, her counsel anymore after basically her exposure of trying to become immortal, and the Queen basically not trusting her anymore. Essentially, that's what that was all about. She does not trust Jaleesa. She doesn't know if Jaleesa was trying to sabotage her or not. But Clara, she held onto Clara's words, and Clara didn't believe she was capable of treason in that way, and so the Queen decided not to execute Jaleesa, but remove her from her council, and she wouldn't tell anybody why she was removed. It would stay between her, Thea, and Clara. But we all know that we all know the reason why Jaleesa was removed. I feel so sorry for her because she's tried her whole life to rise above this. And Chocolate Straw actually was the person who mentioned how Jaleesa actually she tried to be better than her mother. And I think she kind of was like she was an evil like her mother. But I do believe she carried on those same. I do believe that that is her mother. She carried on some of her ways, which is I feel like the way she carried on was her materialistic life and her power hunger. But she wasn't evil about it. She tried to do it the politically correct way, but then she stumbled upon immortality and she tried to get that in the best way possible. But now being immortal is illegal, and I'm pretty sure um Princess Alessia is going to be starting to draft up laws and paperwork regarding this new law. But Jaleesa is just going to have to rely on the fact that maybe her daughter will have a daughter eventually, hopefully and truly. She's had a son named Hypnos, but Jaleesa more so cares about trying to carry on her bloodline than her family name. So hopefully Hypnos does that, but I think she'll be even more secure if her daughter did have a daughter of her own to carry on the Sunneth bloodline. Because really and truly, the family rests on the shoulders of Orlin. She's the only daughter to Jaleesa. And then there is another female of the family, but Aurora, guys, she has had two kids, and she's had her son Gabriel Sunneth and her son Alan Sunneth. So she's had a recent child because I wanted to see if she would have another kid and possibly a daughter. And nope, she had another little boy who also has those blue feline like eyes that he inherited from his dad. Um, and if you guys wanted to see how Gabriel looks, he's a handsome young man, or I should say, he's a teenager, so young man, young boy. But this is how he looks. I think he's really, really handsome. I loved his long hair. I don't really have like a lot of males within the queendom with long hair, so I decided to give Gabriel some long, curly, luscious hair. And so he reminds me a lot of Lestat from Interview with a Vampire, the TV show. But yeah, this is how he looks. I think he's pretty handsome. This is the son of Aurora, Mistress Aurora, and her husband, Master Case and Senneth the Human. But yes, he's a witch, by the way, if you guys were wondering. He's a witch, but he is half human. But he could possibly become a concubine one day, one of Orlin's concubines. So it'll be interesting to see how Gabriel walks through life. That's even if the queen wants to basically uh get entangled with the Sunneths again. She already has a one Sunneth within her harem. Should she have another one within the harem? I don't know. And she's kind of upset with Jaleesa right now. She really doesn't want anything to do with her. Jaleesa really was saved by Clara, because of she wouldn't. The queen would have basically executed Jaleesa on her own assumptions or theories that she made up in her head about the possibilities of what Jaleesa might have done because her mother was executed by Queen Orlin. But Jaleesa, I think, is very grateful. But she's also somewhat angry because her secret was exposed, and I feel like she felt like she should have had a lot more time, and maybe if they didn't bombard the queen with immortality, she would have never been removed. The queen would have been still seeking our counsel. Because in my opinion, guys, Jaleesa was a very great counselor for the time she was counseling the queen, and I feel like low key she was becoming one of Queen Moria's most trusted advisors. But she really was her and Celestia were her most trusted advisors, at least in my opinion. Those that shit that quickly shifted when Clara came to court and told her secrets to Thea, and now Thea is somewhat on top. But I just wanted to go ahead and pop in and show you guys what's going on at the Sunneth Castle. I did change the Sunneth Castle up like a long time ago, but this is how it looks now, if you guys were wondering. I got this off the gallery. I don't remember what the name was because it's been a while, and I think I renamed this castle. So this is how it looks, and it's really, really big compared to other castles within the queendom that are for noble families. But yeah, this is the Sunneth household. I have not decorated this house at all, this castle at all. That's why it looks like this. It's a very beautiful build. I will say that I love the simplicity of it all. I like it. I feel like it fits the Sunneth family design, but in their aesthetics. But in my personal opinion, this is not how I decorate. um, and I probably will decorate it eventually if we like get very entangled inside of the Sunneth family, if they become like a main focus family in the future. Right now, the Sunneths are not as focused because they have been removed off the council now, and a secondary princess married into their family is not like a main princess, and stuff of that nature. But yes, oh, I'm pretty sure I showed you guys Sayek's makeover, but this is his family now, guys, and he's into these politics deeply. I wonder how things will go for him in the future. I'm surprised, but it makes sense. Amiri still has not aged up. He's gonna be aging up in 5 days though into an elder, so it's gonna be very sad to see him get old because he is the youngest child to Queen Orlin. And I always forget that Jaleesa is like a lot older than him, but she did marry her husband just like her mother did, I think. No. Jaleesa did marry her husband when she was an adult and he was a young adult. So that's why their age differences are so far apart. not that far apart, but it's quite a distance away. She's an elder, and then he's an adult who was 5 days away from aging up, and she's been an elder for like I'm gonna say probably around 10 days, maybe not. She has 9 days left, so it probably was 10 days. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to go ahead and pop in and show you guys essentially what's going on with the Sonnets after what happened in the beginning of the episode. You know, Jaleesa has come back home, and I'm pretty sure she is utterly embarrassed, and I really don't know how she would feel about Queen Moira now. Okay, guys, so right now we are back at the castle after visiting, of course, the Sonnet family, and the Queen is talking to her cousin Thea and basically thanking her for, telling her basically what happened, what was going on within her queendom. And as you guys all know, Thea is a lady stewardess, but the queen has also given her the duties of court intrigues. I am sorry if you can hear laughing in the background. My mother is laughing up a storm on the phone gossiping. But needless to say, our queen here, she's very much thanking Thea for everything that has happened, and she's appreciating her for telling her, of course, of what was going on behind her back. And so she has given Thea the duties of basically spy master. Now they're not going to call it spy master; it's still going to be known as the lady stewardess. But officially, stewardesses, lady stewardesses, they will have the duties of course, financial things of the queendom, but also taking care of the intrigues that may go on behind the queen's back, and of course reporting to the queen. And so because Thea apparently was able to find out about quote unquote Jaleesa's plans, she was able to find out quote unquote really it was Clara who told her, but she's now going to be responsible for the duties of basically a spy master. And this is going to be the trend for all lady stewardesses in the future. So um yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool to see what happens now that she is going to be included in these things. But not only has guys do not worry about the prince because you were sitting here talking to your cousin. But not only has the queen told has done all these things for Thea, but the queen has decided, guys, that it is high time that the Crescents get a formal apology from her. She, her grandmother, her grandmother Queen Orlin, after basically what happened to Audra, she apologized to the Crescents, of course, for you know the mistakes that happened during the time of Giselle's era, but they never had like a formal apology, like celebration of welcoming the Crescents back to court and things of that nature. And the Queen has basically told Thea that they deserve this. The Crescents have been by the Odina's side since basically the beginning, since the world tore apart and they came to Earth. It is only good and gracious that she honors the Crescents to give them a good grand party to celebrate their loyalty towards the Odinas. And you have reminded me of, you know, cousin, you have reminded me of the good times that our two families have shared with each other. My uncle is married to your mother. It's only right that I honor you all, honor my aunt and my uncle, and you as well as the future High Lady of Crescent Castle, of a ball. You all deserve it. You all deserve this. Um, and yeah, so that's exactly what the queen is telling her. She is basically going to honor she's I guess she could worry about the baby's development, but she's going to start honoring the Crescents. I think we're going to have a ball tomorrow morning. The queen is going to have a party in honor of High Lady Thea, and not High Lady Thea, Royal Lady Thea, and we're gonna invite all of the Crescents over, and anybody who wants to come, of course. But we're going to invite the Crescents over because this is a party honoring their great family, and showcasing their loyalty to the Odinas. The Queen thinks it's only right. The Queen definitely thinks it's only right to do so. Especially because her grandmother didn't give a formal apology to the Crescents. She kind of just apologized to Marcella and went about her day, invited over her son and her grandkids, and apologize to them in private, but never a formal apology. But the queen, she feels that it needs to be set right today, and she's going to go ahead and she's going to honor her cousin and of course her aunt. She was not too happy about Marcella, but time has changed. Time is changing, and so it's been years since the death of Arwen, and I think the queen, her heart. I don't think she's ever going to forgive for everybody who voted in Arwen's demise, but I think that she's allowing time to move, and she understands she's queen and she needs to continue politicking. And then the best way to do that is to honor the people who have always been by the Odina side, which of course are the Crescents. The Sunners, they have also been there, but they have always, well, for a very long time they have schemed. I'm not gonna say they always did that. Jaleesa, she tried her best to be loyal, and I'm going to give her that. And she was loyal, and we don't even know if she's going to turn on the queen or if she's going to stay loyal, like after all of this after this whole debacle. But definitely Giselle, I feel like Giselle had the mindset of being loyal. She thought she was being loyal, but she was the most disloyal person to the queen ever, controlling her with her own magic and all this other stuff. But the queen wants to go ahead and honor her family, her cousins. And so I think tomorrow morning we're going to definitely have a ball in honor of the Crescent's family. Now, originally, guys, because we were talking about this in a mini movie and stuff like that, I was going to have a ball to determine who's going to be the next Lady Alchemist. But as we all know, the Queen is giving Lady Clara a year to live. And in this time, the Queen has given her the tasks of finding more cures for her children and her. She does not feel this curse is really gone from her. And so she's going to go ahead and employ Clara, the most skilled, witch of them all, to help get rid of this vampirism without killing anybody within her family, because that's very tricky. Like, you're basically getting rid of what makes you you. But Clara's going to find a way. She's a very powerful witch. She's been around for a very, very long time. And for a very long time, she was a Lady Alchemist to Queen Orlin. And also, I think, Lady Hand to Queen Elodie, or maybe she was Lady Hand to Queen Moira in the beginning of the war. I really don't remember. I need to make a spreadsheet of who sat on what council positions throughout each queen's reign. I think I will do that eventually. But Clara, I do remember her being Lady Hand at one point. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she was definitely the Lady Alchemist, and she helped Deianira out a lot during the time of Giselle and things of that nature. But she's here now. She's considering continuing to practice her arts. Sadly, though, she will not be here much longer, guys. The queen has given her a year to live, and in this time, Clara must prepare her granddaughter Kadira, for ruling. If you guys don't know, Kadira is, or if you don't remember, because I've said this before, but if you guys don't remember, Clara had three kids, of course, and she only had one daughter out of her four kids. But out of her three kids born to her late husband, Otto, her ex-husband Otto, her divorce, he passed away, but she only had one daughter from that marriage, and she had her daughter, Mistress Clarabella Magano, who never got the chance to become High Lady herself, but she was on the council for a time during Queen Elodie's reign, and even during the beginning of Queen Moira's reign when the war first started. It was a coup, and she joined in on the coup in Nadine, and yeah, how Clarabella she's passed away from treason. She was executed, burned alive. And then Clarabella, she was married, of course, to Master Douglas Sycamore now, but he's born as a Crescent. So the Maganas and the Crescents, they marry within each other's families, which I thought was obvious. I mean, I thought that was the most logical thing to do, because considering that these two families were allies trying to go against Giselle. So I do remember Audra or at least Clara, trying to arrange a marriage, and it did succeed, a marriage between Clarabella and their son Douglas. But he has remarried to one of the Queen's Guards right now, to Tris Freya. Tris Freya is actually pregnant right now with her next child. She had a son who I've named Dionysus. So thank you to whoever suggested a name to me. But we have a new future Kingsguard here, little Dionysus. Would he be considered a Sir Dionysus? But um I'm going on a long tangent here. I apologize. But Mistress Clarabella, she had two daughters, her eldest Kadira and her second born Vesta. And Kadira is the heir basically to the Magana castle, the Magana lands. She is the heiress to their family because she's the firstborn daughter to Clarabella, and Clara's, I'm pretty sure, eldest granddaughter. Um, so basically, through the natural line of succession, it would go through primogeniture. It'll go to Kadira. And so the queen is allowing Clara here to prepare her granddaughter Kadira for ruling. We might even allow Kadira to stay here for a time. But in this time period of basically Clara, I would consider like a year to basically be a week in the game. But the council change won't happen until basically winter. So I'm going to probably just pretend like it's going to be a year that passes in between this time, because I'm getting my dates wrong here. But, this is a game and we're telling a story. So I'm just going to let it slide for right now. But I am not going to allow Clara to die until I'm going to say maybe the next Friday. So after that Friday, right before the Roots of the Goddess start, is when Clara will pass away. And then 2 days later, the council change will happen. But right now, Clara is going to be the de facto Lady Alchemist. She's going to stay in the castle until, of course, the queen lets her pass away. She's going to have a peaceful death. I think she deserves that. But she's also going to try to make sure that her granddaughter Kadira, I mean, she's probably been getting lessons on ruling the future lands of Magana. But she wants to make sure that that Kadira is very much prepared now that she knows she's going to die. She has time to, why not? And in this process, she's going to definitely be looking for cures for the queen or trying to create some cures, ones that'll be better than whatever Jaleesa created. I mean, I don't want to discredit Jaleesa because she tried her best, but it didn't really work as well as she thought. What's going on with the princess here? Okay. I need to make a bath somewhere. And guys, I was very drained and upset when I found out that all of the pictures that I made turned black. It happened like literally 2 days ago when I started recording this episode, which is part of the reason why I haven't really been playing my game, because I really got agitated and like I was just drained. Like I just put so much work into this world, and then every time something glitches, and before this, guys, we was in a totally different save file. I literally had to save all of my Sims to the gallery like a long time ago in the first season. I had, because the world that we were in, it was glitching really bad. I'm guessing from the for rent pack, but it was so bad that I had to like save all of my characters from that world and then move them over here into this world. And this world is still having glitches as well. But I was very upset by the black screens. I mean, somebody did tell me to save them, which I was planning on doing, but every time I would get in the game, I would get distracted. And so it just never happened. And now I have to remake all of those portraits again, which I'm probably going to end up taking my time with again, because like this is draining to have to get my Sims back off the gallery, put them back in the world, take pictures of them, and hang them up on back on the walls and things of that nature, because it was draining doing it all. But I did it. I got the courage to do it eventually, but I had to do it all over again. Which is very aggravating. I hate that I have to do this again. Yeah, I don't understand the Sims, literally. Moira, please, in the name of the good Lord, leave this child alone. My God, today she just sometimes you gotta let your father be the caretaker. Okay, it's okay to take a seat back. You don't have to always be here for your children. You have help. That's what your father is here for. I mean, he's. Oh my God, did the? Oh, just the garlic. I was a little worried that the plants died. Cause I took care of them this morning before Jaleesa left. Um, but this is what your father is for, my love. Let's go ahead and get him to give now I have to wait because she was reset. Go ahead and give your granddaughter Dionira a bath. So this is going to be a shorter episode, guys. I mean, because I've basically already talked about everything I wanted to talk about, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up to of what's to come. I was gonna have the ball this episode, but I know the beginning of the episode was already a bit lengthy, and then I have 30 minutes to record, and I just looked at my timer. We're already 4 minutes to basically ending the episode. But I'm sorry for all the talking I was doing and not enough gameplay. But definitely next episode, guys, we will indeed have that ball for Thea. And I don't know if we're gonna have it at the castle, if we're gonna go over to Crescent Castle, which I might go over to Crescent Castle and just invite everybody over to Crescent Castle to have a little bit of fun, because we don't really visit the other families often. So now that nobody's like, we're just starting to have children again, so we're gonna be able to go visit these other families more often. But beforehand, for a very long time, no one was having kids. And most of the time we would be here and no one would be having children for a long time. But now people are having kids again. So it's going to be nice to go over to certain castles and have a nice look at what's going on. Celestia is not having any more kids because she's had her last child already, sadly. But you know, I'm excited to go over and hop over to other families again because we haven't done it in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that Victor, he's what? Let's go ahead and get him to bottle feed his granddaughter. So bottle feed her, and then you can go ahead and put her back in the crib. And after that happens, I'm going to definitely go ahead and get him to give Demeter a bath. Oh my God, all of these stanky diapers. Um, but yes, guys, the queen, she definitely is. She's removed Jaleesa from her council. Jaleesa is no longer on the council. Um, she has left, which is sad, but it is the way the cookie has crumbled. Um, and I wish her the best in her life, and I hope that Orlin eventually gives her the daughter that she's been wanting so badly. But only time will tell if Orlin will continue the Sunneth family or if the Sunneth family will die out with Orlin. It really depends. Oh, and Thea is still in the chamber here. Thea, let's get you to go to bed. Now, I definitely do want to get some of our other ladies pregnant again. I'm gonna wait until basically Orlin turns into a teenager before we let the queen get pregnant again, because guys, just that quickly, Orlin, she is 3 days from aging up. Isn't that crazy? Time is flying by fast, but it makes sense though because Orlin was born during the war, and that was a long time ago. Now, it's been years since the war happened. And I'm pretty sure Orlin is probably like 12 years old right now, about to turn 13. So, um, when you think about it, Queen Murra has been ruling for quite a bit now. This has been 12 years since the war. About to be 13 in a little bit. But it's kind of cool to see that Orlin is getting a little bit older, and I'm going to be excited to see how she flourishes as a teenager, because when you become teenagers, she's clingy. That's why she's so close to her mom. When you become a teenager is when the personalities really start to root, at least in my opinion, because I really start to see how these people start to act. Right now, she's a very spoiled princess, and she wants everything her way or no way. She doesn't have a lot of empathy. And like I said before, with her brother, Pluto, they were like really, really close. And I feel like maybe when Pluto decided, hey, I don't want to do it your way, right? Is when he got upset. It was when she got upset and she just kind of went ballistic on her brother, I feel. And so her and Pluto are not close. They actually quite dislike each other now. I don't know if they hate each other. Yeah, they just dislike each other. Like they don't want to be around each other. Um, which I think is typical for sibling relationships if you're not as close. So yeah, Orlin, she's like, if you can't do it my way, then I don't want to hear it at all. So I'm excited to see how she goes ahead and ages up, and I can't wait to invite Sir Zara over for essentially whenever Queen Orlin, Princess Orlin, has her birthday. But anyway, guys, my name is Ronald the Simmer, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.